Thursday night, North Carolina Vinyl Picker here. We finally reached the end, folks. When I started this over a month ago, some people said, man, you're crazy. You're going to go through your entire collection? And I've had a lot of good response from people out there in the vinyl communities telling me how great job I've done. They look forward to the next video. And I'm getting up there in my subs. I'm getting close to 400. So I hope everybody has enjoyed this trip down through my collection. Maybe I should do all my CDs next. Maybe that would be another one to do. But I'm going to take a break from that for a while. I got some shows lined up, some things I want to do. I went picking this week, found a few things. I'm going to show you those. Then I'm going to run through some records. And I don't think I even got 50 left. But we've got one of the best prog bands in the world is in this last little group here. You know, that's got to be the band Yes. So let's get to it and get this done, and then I'll show you a few things at the end, and then we'll go into talking about a show I got lined up that's going to be coming down the road here shortly. So yeah, here we go. Let's go ahead and get this thing wrapped up. So we were talking about Walter Carlos, or Wendy Carlos, and so we'll continue on with her, some of her discography. Sonic Seasonings. That's a good one. All of his music is really good. Here's Switched on Bach, number 2. Walter Carlos. Last time we met, wow, I was talking to you about him sitting down in the chair. That refreshes your memory. Walter Egan, Too Shy. I think I paid all the buck for this one. Remember getting it in a antique mall somewhere in my journeys. But I remember going into the store, I remember finding it, and they had a lot of records there that were really high in price and stuff. And then I saw old Walter sitting there. No one's showing any love to Walter, so for a buck I picked him up, and it's a good record. I think he has ties with Fleetwood Mac. Warren Zevon, Side of a Boy. Now this is a good album. Now I want to get his, I think his first album. It's just or it could be his second. It's the one where he's well, it's the one where he's on the cover. Imagine that. But it's kind of like a bluish gray cover. It was during the CD era, I believe, so it's a hard one to find, and it's pretty pricey. So that's on my top 10 records to find in the wild. I could buy it on eBay or Discogs tomorrow, but I'd rather find it for $1. Like I found that Felt album. 49 cents. Crazy. Crazy. Who's this? Oh, that's Weather Report. Mysterious Traveler. These guys are fantastic. I just got into, I seen another copy just today. I was out at a record store in Morganton, North Carolina. I'm going to put this one down. That's Mysterious Traveler, Weather Report. And the record store is called Main Street Jams. The guy's really cool. He's a really nice guy. And I enjoyed talking to him today. And I told him about my channel, so I don't know if he's watching or not, but it's at 132 North Sterling Street, Morganton, North Carolina. He's got a lot of collectibles in there. He's got a lot of CDs. He's got lots of records. I've gone in there picking records. He's got dollar records on the floor. They're in crates. I took a chair in there one day from my house, a folding chair, and I went through every crate in there picking. I need to go back through there and do that again. That was fun. But yeah, he's just a super guy, and he buys turntables. Yeah, so he buys collections, and he's interested in the records that I've been finding for the past 3 years. So he said he wants to look through them. So that's pretty cool. That's Main Street Jams, and that's if you're close, if you're in North Carolina, it's in the town of Morganton. Nice little town. So, where were we at? We're talking about Main Street Jams. Okay, we're talking about Weather Report, and this is the album called Tail Spinning, and Jocko's on here. No, Jocko's not on this one. He must be on the other one. No Jocko. This is Night Passage. I know Jocko's on some of these. I'm talking about Jaco Pastorius, the magnificent bass player How about Heavy Weather? Now this one here I found is a half-speed master. I got it for cheap. I found it, just got lucky and found this here. But anybody else that's into jazz fusion would love Weather Report. Here is their self-titled album. First album. Looks like I need to put these in order. Then I got Who live at Leeds. I only have a couple Who albums. I'm not the hugest fan of the Who. I know Prog Hat, that's like his #1 band. And don't give me a strike for that one, Prog Hat. But yeah, you are the prog man that loves the Who, and I'm the prog man that loves Steven Wilson and Porcupine Tree, and a bunch of other bands. Don't even get me started on that. Maybe I should do a show on my top 20 favorite artists, and then my favorite album from that artist. Go through 20. That's a show. That's right there. That's a show. Just like George said on Seinfeld. That's a show, Jerry. It's a show. It's a show about nothing. There you go. Live at Leeds. What we got here? Well, of course, Quadrophenia. This is probably my favorite Who album. Who's Next has been played to death. I've heard those songs so many times. I don't care if I ever hear Bob O'Reilly again. But Quadrophenia is not something you don't hear all the time. I'm not a big fan of Tommy. So Quadrophenia would probably be it for me. That's going to be my Who album right here. And I like that live album, Live at Leeds. That's a good one. And then I like the Stones' early stuff, but I don't know about Magic Bus and all that stuff. I'm not real keen on that. Anyway, let's move on. How about we're going to go into the whys here and talk about Yanni. I have a lot of his discography on CD. I have mostly everything because you can pick them up in the Goodwill for 50 cents to $1 all day long. But he made like 3 albums. This one here is called Out of Silence. This one here is digitally recorded and digitally mastered. There you go. It tells you right on there. And this album was from '87 and was on the Private label. Now he made, I think, 3 albums. I think one of them was called Chameleon Days or something. He made like 3 albums in a row that were more than just his typical new age. They were more like jazz fusion records, and so there was like 3 of them. They're great. This one here is fantastic. You can find this one, and if you're into jazz fusion, pick it up with a little bit of new age because that's what he ended up doing. And then, and how about this one? Woo! This is a banger here. I found this one here. Over, Underway, Sideways Down, the Yardbirds. This is a great album. I never really had heard the Yardbirds too much until I saw Mazzy talking about them and other people started talking about them. Now this is a band I love, jazz fusion. Yellow Jackets. These don't get any love in the vinyl community at all. I should just do a show on this, the Yellow Jackets. This is a great jazz band. Pick these guys up. If you see this album, pick it up. This is a promo. Actually, it says right down here on the bottom. And I got this in Gastonia, North Carolina. At a record store that I've never gotten back to. It was a long time ago. How about Mirage et Toi? Their second album. Another great album. I picked all these up in Florida before I left. Some lady had them out. I think they were $5, $3, $5 a piece. Here's Samurai Samba, their third album. Here is Shades. That's the man right over here. Yeah. That's really cool. Jimmy Haslip's in this band. Ricky Lawson. Mark Russo on alto saxophone. Mark Russo, Russell Fahrenheit is on keyboards too. Jimmy Haslip he is a beast on that bass. He's got a couple solo albums out, and Mark Russo has a solo album out too that's really killer. But if you're into jazz fusion, you should be listening to the Yellow Jackets. There's Shades. That's one reoccurring theme I've had through from all the way from the A to the Z is jazz fusion. Have you noticed that? A lot of jazz fusion. Maybe more jazz fusion than prog. Maybe not. How about Four Corners? Another great Yellow Jackets album. How about Politics? one thing I don't get into. There he is. Finally, we got to Yes. There's Yes's first album. And there's Bill Bruford over here. And Tony Kaye. And Chris Squire. And John Anderson. And who's this guy over here? Huh? Who's that guy up there? It's not Steve Howe. Let me tell you that. It's not Steve Howe. You tell me who that is. Who was their guitar player? And we've already talked about this guy before. Put it in the comment section down below. Tell me who the first guitar player was with Yes. There's a question for you. And I've already given you the answer before. Here's their second album, and the guy that I'm thinking of that was their first guitar player is not this guy. That's Steve Howe. But he was put on the cover of this album when he wasn't even on this album. There's some trivia for you. So who was that guy? Who was... It's those four guys plus... Come on, you can do it. You can say it. Say it. Say it. Oh, boy. Fragile. How about Fragile? Now, I'm missing the Yes album. I don't have the Yes album. That would have been the first album with Steve Howe. But I have to get that. It's on my list. I used to have it. I don't have it anymore. I've heard it a lot of times. 100 times, probably. I don't have a copy of it. They have a copy on CD. I don't have a vinyl copy. If you have an extra copy, you can send me one if you like. It's just called the Yes album. It's got Yours Is No Disgrace, and it's got all them songs, you know. Here's Fragile. It's got the booklet in here. Make sure if you go to get a copy of this, you get with the booklet. Man, we're almost done. I can't believe I've finished this thing. Close to the Edge. Everybody knows this album. Everybody knows what the next one's going to be, too. Woo, this one's a heavy joker. Yes songs. Yep. 3 LP set. That's a heavy one. Tales from Topographic Ocean. But not only Tales from Topographic Ocean, but it's a white label promo of Tales from Topographic Oceans. And the lady had $35 on it. This was at a record store in a bookstore actually in Sanford, Florida, not far from my house. And I saw it when it was like one of the first records I bought when I went there. I used to go there at least twice a month, 3 times a month, and pull records out of there because it was downtown. It was upstairs. You had to walk up the stairs to get up there, kind of like the one in Hickory I go to. And she's a super nice lady. And but she wouldn't bargain on her records, man. I think I must have bought 100 records there from her before I moved up here to North Carolina. But this one here is rare. I never seen one. Have you anybody else ever seen a white label promo of Tales from Topographic Oceans? What a great album. Possibly my favorite. It's the Prog Corner's favorite. And if he ain't subbed up to the Prog Corner, you need to get busy and sub him up. Do it right after you get done with me here. Go ahead and sub up to Prog Corner. How about Relayer? Rick Wakeman wasn't here for this one, but Patrick Moraz was. Patrick Moraz went on to play with the Moody Blues. And he also has some fantastic solo albums. An album called The Story of I. Check that one out. How about Yesterdays? Found this one at a record show with my nephew was with me. And it's got a full-length version of America on here. Astral Traveler, Dear Father, Sweet Dreams, Time in a Word, Survival. Great album. How about Going for the One? Great album. Another great album. Rick Wakeman makes his return to Yes. And they come up with a banger. It was a great album. How about Tormato? Check that out. Time Strip promo. Tormato. That's why that's in the collection. Then I have another copy of Tormato. Yeah, so this one here is a German import, so I'm keeping this one too. And when I have a promo and I have an import, I keep them both. When I have a promo and an American release, I put the American release in the other room in a box. And those are the ones that are going to the sale. I don't need to have 2 copies of American release. This is the best you can get. You can't get anything better than a promo. They sound the best. Unless it's warped. How about Yes, 90125? I played this one to death in the 80s. And someone said, you don't listen to 80s music. Yes, I do listen to 80s music. I've been on tape before saying that I'm not a fan of the 80s music, which is true. But then I go back and every week I'm pulling out a record from the 80s and say, oh, I listened to that. So, you know, maybe I need to get some Ginkgo Bola. Okay, what else we got? How about 9012 Live, the solos? Another fantastic record. Man, we're almost to the end here. X, Y, Z. How about Big Generator? Woo, that's a good one. That's a good one. This is an 80s record. This one here is actually a promo, and it's also sealed. It's a sealed copy of Big Generator. I haven't opened it. I have it on CD if I want to hear it. Wow, 3 more records to go here. We're all done with Yes. How about Zager and Evans in the year 2525? Exordium and Terminus. Zager and Evans. Remember hearing this song when I was a kid. It would be on the radio all over the time. This album is from, I don't know, I would say late 60s, probably. We're going to end this whole thing with the Zombies. I saw another copy today in the record store of this, but it wasn't, it might have been an OG. I didn't get it. This one here is the Kraft recording. This sounds so sweet. I probably should have picked that one up today. And the last record is, drum roll, Felt. I brought it in last. Actually, the Zombies was the last one, Odyssey and Oracle. But this one here is the record that I found last, was it Monday or Tuesday? I think it was Monday I went over there. No, it was Tuesday. I went over to Tuesday to a charity shop here close to me, as the English would say. And I was digging through the records, and I have an Instagram. It's on my Instagram, North Carolina Vinyl Picker. And I showed you the pile of records. I went through probably 1,500 records in 2 hours and just stacking them, looking them, stacking them, looking them, and stacking them. And I pulled out 10 for me and 10 for a friend of mine that I'm going to send to this. That actually the records went out today. And then I came up to that record there, and Dylan from Noble Records, another great place. He sells records, and he sells a few online. But if you want like he says, you want the bangers, you got to come into the store, and it's right here in North Carolina. Noble Records. Check them out on YouTube, Instagram, and I'm not sure where else. But he's shown that record before, Felt, and 49 cents I paid for that record. 49. I had to sit down. I was looking through records and stuff, and I was standing up. I was picking them up, putting them down, picking them up, putting them down. And then I went like this, and I said, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe I had to sit down. I really did. Last time this sold on Discogs, it sold for like $1,200. There's none on Discogs to sit for. I think there's one on Discogs that's for sale, and it's priced at like $2,400 or something. And I paid 49 cents for it. Okay, holy moly. Okay, so that's it. That's all I got to show. I found a few things today I can show you real quick. I was just listening to one of them. We got Beckola. I'm enjoying these old Jeff Beck albums with Rod Stewart and stuff. I don't think I've ever heard these albums before, because I didn't get into Rod Stewart until like Blow by Blow, and then I was off to the races listening to Jeff Beck. So yeah, Nicky Hopkins on piano. Proghat just showed this record like yesterday. Ron Wood is on here before he went to the Rolling Stones. So there you go. Kansas album. I didn't have this one, and he had it there for $5. Song for America. So I picked it up, and great album. I saw Kansas live on the Mask tour many moons ago, and I saw this one here, and the cover was all textured. So I'm thinking, oh, this has got to be a promo. Crazy Horse. I didn't know that Neil wasn't on this album, so this must have been the band before Neil joined. It must have been an album they did, and it has Neil's Lofgren on guitar. Well, later I think he played with Bruce Springsteen, didn't he? I'm not sure. I'm not a huge Springsteen fan. And then Ry Cooder is on this record too. So there you go. And I picked those three up, and that's about it. That's all I've been. Found a few CDs, and nothing really to get overly excited about. I can show you real quick. These were all 50 cents at that same store I found Felt. When I went back. Radiohead, Pablo Honey. This is an 80s band I've never really heard too much of, but for 50 cents, and the CD was really nice. I said, well, what the heck? I'll show this one here, this promo here at the end. Flim and the BBs, that's a jazz outfit, fusion jazz. This album's called Neon. I think I have their complete discography now. I think they only made like 4 or 5 records. And then another jazz outfit of fusion, Japanese band Hiroshima. LA, Los Angeles, this one's called. These guys are really good. And then this is a new age artist that I have quite a few of her albums. I remember listening to her, back when I was probably in my 20s and 30s. Susan Ciani. She's really good. She's a pianist. This one here is called Pianismo. I have the second one to that. Then I saw this there, and I said, I don't know. It's got to be worth something. It's got Prince's name on it. It's Prince. It's got to be worth, a few dollars. This one here is Prince with Sheena Easton, The Arms of Orion. It was a song, I guess, from the Batman movie in 1989. Which Batman movie? I don't know. They've made so many of them. But this is a promo only, not for sale, from the soundtrack Batman. And it's in pretty good shape. Doesn't have a front cover, but a lot of those promos don't. They don't have them. They just have the one on the back. So you can see it's a promo of Prince. Whenever I see something of Prince, I buy it, and then I put it aside, and I have a box of CDs that I send out for VCLT, or I'll sell, whatever. But I have never sold any, but I'm looking to have a sale here in September, maybe October, up here in North Carolina. So it's going to be a big sale. A lot of people getting excited about it, so no, not really. Maybe just me. I'm getting excited about it. Because if I sell all these records, I'll be able to go ahead and use that money to buy records I want. There you go. Wow, I've been running my mouth for almost 24 minutes. Well, y'all have a great rest of your evening, and we'll be seeing you. If I go out tomorrow, which I think I am, I'm going to be going out to some charity shops and maybe a record store, and I'm going to get a yummy lunch. And then tomorrow's Friday, so then Saturday I'll get back into my groove, and we'll do my Saturday show. And some of the things I was thinking about doing was the one I mentioned earlier about the top 20 bands, and then an album. I'm going to write that one down. Top 20 bands, because if I don't, I'll forget. Top 20 bands, top 20 records from them bands. Then I'll show you the records. I'll show you all 20. Okay, do that. I want to do that show. And then the top 10 CDs in my collection, price-wise, according to Discogs. I'm going to do that show. That should be a good show. I've already done my records. And then, I'm not going to be doing that. What do I got here? Top 20 prog albums, according to Discogs. Top 20 records, according to Discogs, price-wise. I just did that show not too long ago. So that's about it. So let me show you the Felt album one more time. And find that album. If you find that album, there you go. You're doing pretty good. It's a good day. That's quite an investment. 49 cents, and it's worth $2,500. So, yeah. But you got to find someone to buy it. But right now, there's 180 people in Discogs looking for that record. So should I go ahead and put it on Discogs to sell? Write down in the write a note down the bottom here and tell Big Chief here whether he should go ahead and put that record up for sale in Discogs, and for how much. How much should I put it in for? Maybe I'll do a contest. No, I won't. Okay, y'all have a good evening. I'm having too much fun here. 26 minutes. I'm glad we finished this up, and I'm glad everybody stayed with me to the end. I got 360 some subscribers, and I got 35 people watching my videos. So what does that tell you? What's that, 10%? So I got about 10% of the people who signed up my channel that are actually watching my videos. So I'm buying a video editing program, which I should have Saturday. And I'm going to start using that and start making all kinds of banners and bangs and whistles and little things going across the screen, and just try to spice it up a little bit to try to get up to about 400 subs. And maybe I can get 50 people watching my videos instead of 35 out of 360. So anyway, I'm not complaining. I enjoy doing this, and if you watch, I really appreciate all my subscribers. And if you watch, I enjoy watching you watch me, I guess. So that way there you enjoy seeing my shows. So hope you had a good evening, and stay good out there. Support the troops, and I got to get a drink here. I'm getting parched. I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you Saturday night. Have a good rest of your night. Talk to you later. Bye.